नमस्कार. जय श्रीकृष्ण. श्रीकृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद, श्री अद्वैत गदाधर, श्रीवासदी गौर भक्त वृंदा. Illuminating text 4, text 5 and text 6 of chapter 1, genealogical table of the daughters of Manu of 4th canto, the creation of the 4th order of Srimad Bhagavatam. Text 4. यस्तयोः पुरुषः साक्षात् विष्णुरयज्ञ स्वरूपधृक या स्त्री सा दक्षिणा भूते रंश भूतान्पायिनी. Of the two children born of Akuti, the male child was directly an incarnation of the Supreme Personality of Godhead and his name was Yajna, which is another name of Lord Vishnu. The female child was a partial incarnation of Lakshmi, the goddess of fortune, the eternal consort of Lord Vishnu. Lakshmi, the goddess of fortune, is the eternal consort of Lord Vishnu. Here it is stated that both the Lord and Lakshmi, who are eternal consorts, appeared from Akuti simultaneously. Both the Lord and his consort are beyond material creation. As confirmed by many authorities, Narayanah Paro Avyaktat, therefore their eternal relationship cannot be changed, and Yajna, the boy born of Akuti, later married the goddess of fortune. Text 5. Aninye swagruham putryaha putram vitatarochisham swayambhuvo muda yukto ruchira jaggraha dakshinam. Swayambhuva Manu very gladly brought home the beautiful boy named Yajna, and Ruchi, his son-in-law, kept with him the daughter Dakshina. Swayambhuva Manu was very glad to see that his daughter Akuti had given birth to both a boy and girl. He was afraid that he would take one son and that because of this his son-in-law Ruchi might be sorry. Thus when he heard that a daughter was born along with the boy, he was very glad. Ruchi, according to his promise, returned his male child to Swayambhuva Manu and decided to keep the daughter whose name was Dakshina. One of Lord Vishnu's names is Yajna because he is the master of the Vedas. The name Yajna comes from Yajusham Patiha, which means Lord of all sacrifices. In the Yajurved, there are different ritualistic prescriptions for performing yajnas, and the beneficiary of all such yajnas is the Supreme Lord Vishnu. Therefore, it is stated in Bhagavad Gita 3.9, Yajnartha karmanaha, one should act, but one should perform one's prescribed duties only for the sake of Yajna or Vishnu. If one does not act for the satisfaction of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, or if one does not perform devotional service, then there will be reactions to all one's activities. It does not matter if the reaction is good or bad. If our activities are not dovetail with the desire of the Supreme Lord, and if we do not act in Krishna's consciousness, then we shall be responsible for the results of all our activities. There is always a reaction to every kind of action, but if actions are performed for Yajna, there is no reaction. Thus, if one acts for Yajna or the Supreme Personality of Godhead, one is not entangled in the material condition. For it is mentioned in the Vedas and also in Bhagavad Gita that the Vedas and the Vedic rituals are all meant for understanding the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna. From the very beginning, one should try to act in Krishna's consciousness that will free one from the reactions of material activities. Text 6. Tam kamayanam bhagvanu vaha yajusham patiha tushtayam toshamapanno ajanayada dvadashatmajan. The Lord of the ritualistic performance of Yajna later married Dakshina, who was anxious to have the personality of Godhead as her husband, and in this wife, the Lord was also very much pleased to beget 12 children. An ideal husband and wife are generally called Lakshmi Narayan to compare them to the Lord and the goddess of fortune, for it is significant that Lakshmi Narayan are forever happy as husband and wife. A wife should always remain satisfied with her husband, and a husband should always remain satisfied with his wife. In the Chanakya Shlok, the moral instructions of Chanakya Pandit, it is said that a husband and a wife who are always satisfied with one another, then the goddess of fortune automatically comes. In other words, where there is no disagreement between husband and wife, all material opulence is present and good children are born. Generally, according to Vedic civilization, a wife is trained to be satisfied with her husband, and the husband, according to Vedic instruction, is required to please the wife with sufficient food, ornaments and clothing. Then, if they are satisfied with their mutual dealings, good children are born. In this way, the entire world can be peaceful, but unfortunately in this age of Kali, there are no ideal husbands and wives. Therefore, unwanted children are produced, and there is no peace and prosperity in the present day world. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.